first keynote session on Industry Institute Engagement Practices, Issues and a Way Forward by Engineer Mahesh Bhattarai ji, who completed his Masters of Environmental Engineering and Postgraduate Diploma in Environmental Management, and the work experience is in different geological locations of Nepal. The 20 years experience in technical education and vocational training mainly dedicated to human capital development for the industries and services of the country. The coordination among donors to expand polytechnic in different parts of the country, coordination to carry out market-oriented short-term training programs, the supervision and monitoring of the vocational training and training delivery are the assets acquired to support the proposed job responsibility. The visit to different Asian and European countries is additional assets to complement to his experience. So I request Engineer Mahesh Bhattarai ji to kindly take over the session.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm very much grateful, especially CPSC, for providing me this kind of opportunity. It's really difficult to say a few words after Professor Dr. Pramod Shrestha, but I will dare to say something. And before entering into the discussion, I would like to start from boiling frog syndrome. Yes, we are at the point of boiling frog syndrome in Nepal, especially in Tibet. So there are some of the reasons why we are at that stage. Our social belief, cultural belief is different to what is right now happening in other parts of the globe. And we say Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma in our tradition, in our culture, they are the architects. They design and they build the infrastructure. So this is our culture, this is our belief, this is our philosophy. But this is Vedic philosophy. But Vishwakarma right now, we put it in OBC, in India and in Nepal. So that OBC is not engineer. Vishwakarma is literally engineer. That Vishwakarma, though it is literally engineer, it is not supposed to be engineer. It is supposed to be a caste that is defined in OBC. That is the reality in Nepal, and I don't know about India. So, but in our Vedic culture, the engineers are defined as Vishwakarma and they are OBC caste. So, and another thing is that we believe in doctrine of karma. Our Vedic philosophy, our Upanishad, mostly emphasize on doctrine of karma. You popularly know that karma neva adhikaraste. So you have to create good causes. That good causes will result in good effects and good results. So that is our philosophy, but we have not put sufficient time in creating good causes. My emphasis on my presentation will be what we have created the causes, though they are good or not, we will discuss later it on, and that will, whether that will help to institutionalize our Tibet or not, that will be the focus point of my discussion. At the beginning, I want to go for education. Right now, Nepal has endorsed National Vocational Qualification Framework. That is nothing. That means education is knowledge and skill. That Nepal government has already endorsed. So all the Vishwakarmas are also engineers. They are also academicians. So this is the belief of this NVQF. And there are different dimensions of education. Education 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to go into details about education 1 and education 2. I want to emphasize on education 3 and education 4. 3 is nothing, but education can be better learned in working place. All the industries, all the working place are not only working place, but they are academic institutions. That is the principle behind education 3, and we can define it as tripolar education. Teacher, student, the workplace. And education 4 is that you can learn everywhere by everyone, and this is multipolar. So lifelong learning is the philosophy of Education 4. So we have, though discussed many times, but we have not accepted the principle of Education 3.0, and we have not even accepted the principle of Education 4.0. Our house, our mothers, our sisters, they work in house, in kitchens, but they are not counted as rewarding employment. That is we have to accept that Education 4. Everything is education. Everything that pays back in cash or kind, that is income, we have to accept that one. So what Nepal has done, institutional arrangement, we can say legal arrangement for that. Yes, there is something written in Constitution, and Education Act that was enacted in 1971, and it was amended in 2016. It has integrated general education and vocational education in simply education. Whether that is sufficient or not, that is what we have currently now. And CTEVT Act enacted in 1988 that opened up the avenue for TVET in Nepal. And there is another Industrial Training Act. It was enacted in 1982, but I can say it is still dormant. It's not working properly. And the objective of that Industrial Training Act was enhancing involvement of Nepalese workers in industrial activities. Right now, there are many foreign workers in our industries, and we simply wanted to replace them. So that was the primary focus. Whether that works in this kind of time of global village or not, that is a different thing. But the objective at that time was this one. And we enacted National Education Policy in 2019, similar to Indian National Education Policy. So it has integrated education, TVET in education, and similarly we have 16 periodic plan. So this has emphasized on expansion. But what expansion is that? It is participation in training by more people. It does not say anything about employment. And second one is sustainable funding. Funding only to run the training institutes. And similarly, inclusive incentive to take participation in the training, and similarly opportunity. So this has very lesser opportunity, lesser emphasis on employment. So industries, employment are not talked, right? Before Dr. Pramod Shrestha explained that, we are always trying to work upon supply side, not on demand side. Similarly, another SDG 4, I don't want to go into detail, access, decent job, and gender disparity. This is the main focus. And similarly, we have enacted apprenticeship guideline in 2081. That is the recent document that helps to go towards apprenticeship training in Nepal, especially in CTEVT. That has been the legal arrangements in Nepal. Similarly, what is industry by our laws? So Industrial Enterprise Act 2020 differentiates different types of industry: micro industry, cottage industry, small industry, medium industry, and large industry. They are mainly focusing on capital of the industry, people working on the industry, and power consumption on the industry, not on production, not on human resource development. Mainly three categories are there: the number of capital of the industry, workforce working on the industry, and power consumption. They are the major criteria for defining this different kind of industry. And there is one survey made by Nepal Economic Forum. This has given some numerals for different kinds of industry: large industries, medium industry, and small industry, and total industries. So I think it is 2 years back statistics, so I don't want to go into detail. Similarly, there is another act working for this, Labor Act 2017. This Labor Act 2017 simply defines what is enterprise. So I don't need to read it out. And so this has something, I think, implicitly written on that document. The first one is, what is training? Training is engaged in work making an agreement. So yes, there is some faint provision of trainees working in the industry, so defined by Labor Act. And similarly, so it has also defined as apprentice So this act does not define those trainees as labor. These are the two important aspects. And similarly, there are other provisions. The first one is not engaged in work. So those apprentices working in the industry, they should not be engaged in work more than 8 hours. This is one provision. And there should be provision of occupational health and safety, and accidental expenses should be paid by the employer, if any. Then there should be agreement between institute and enterprise for the engagement in the training for apprenticeship. These are the provisions in Labor Act. Similarly, mostly economically active population ranges from 25 to 59. That population is 42 and 42.3%. Out of that 42.3%, 65.5% are economically active. So out of that economically active, usually economically active is 70.35%. Out of that 70.35%, usually employed are 93.65%. This is the scenario of the statistical data about the employment among economically active population. And the GDP contribution is, the primary GDP contribution is by service sector, that is tertiary sector. It is 62.2%, and the industrial contribution from manufacturing industrial is very less. It is 12.9%. So what is the situation we can analyze? And the employment generation is that is written over there. So in that kind of employment, only 11.5% workers are trained. So 88.5% are not having any special kind of training, skill development training. They are working in the industry. So what the role of and the contribution of TVET is there, we can predict from this one. And similarly, work-based learning models. So I want to start from the last one. The first one is apprenticeship training. Yes, we have started apprenticeship training from the very beginning. At the beginning, it was started from Butwal Technical Institute in Butwal. Then we have started in Kathmandu, also from CTEVT also. This apprenticeship training mainly focuses on the training goes to industries. Similar agreement is there as already written in the Labor Act. Incentive to trainees by employers, similarly certification of trainees by institution. So yes, CTEVT is providing the certification, and on-the-job training is there. Previously there was on-the-job training for pre-diploma programs. Right now there, in some of the programs there is on-the-job training, but it is not in all the training programs. Right now there has been two discussions in the Ministry of Education. The first discussion is that all the graduate and postgraduate students should go for internship training, and similarly there is also discussion in the high school graduates that the household work and extracurricular work should be scored and they should be counted in the marks sheet. That there has been discussion, but they have not been formalized and institutionalized in documents. This is the second one. Another one is industrial attachment. Yeah, we have very old and very renowned institute in Kathmandu, that is Balaju MTC, Mechanical Training Center. There is industrial attachments that the people, employers send their workers in Balaju, and we also send our trainees to industry. This is a kind of industrial attachment. And the very beginning that we have entrepreneurship advisory committee in different schools. It has been practiced, I think, more than 25 years back in our schools. Especially this practice has been there in Balaju. Right now I don't know the status, but this is the very important aspects for post-training support to the graduates that can connect them to the industry, and that can connect to the post-training service requirement for the graduates. These are the some of the aspects in work-based learning models in practice in CTEVT. In the first one, coordination and post-training support is there. In the second one, industries send workers to institute and vice versa. And on the job training, institute send trainees to industry. That this is another aspect, and I don't want to elaborate about apprenticeship training. We all know about this apprenticeship training. Right now, already I explained that Education 3.0 and Education 4.0. Education 3.0 is learning at workplace. Education 4.0 is lifelong learning. This dual weight is mainly focused on lifelong learning and education in workplace. So institute is also providing education, and the industry is also providing education. That is dual weight. I don't need to define each one. So in world of education, that is delivered at in institute or school. So we focus on curricula. So in world of work, we focus on competency, not on curricula. and simulated and guided practice for supportive trainers in school. Similarly, supporting staff, peer learning and exchange of ideas and recognition. That is in the school. But in world of work, yes, there is competency we focus, and the competition, changing skill sets. So it is not that it is not like that, or whatever I learn, I have to do that. But whatever market says, we have to perform that duty. So that is in the world of work. So work culture is there. So we have to be in a system, in the ecosystem of the industries. Similarly, discipline, competencies, and flexibility. So we can use different types of instruments and tools. Similarly, social capital. Yeah, not only the financial capital, so that is social relationship also. And the other interaction is also social capital. Time management and speed and quality are the aspects of the world of work. Right now, we have been mainly focusing on the institute. We have paid very less attention towards the world of work. And another thing is that the effort that has been made towards TVET is that we have not been able to transform TVET for enhancing entrepreneurial activities or business activities. We are trying to make training as business. That is our, I can say, bottleneck. Similarly, there are different main actors in dual TVET. I don't want to emphasize one in the business and industry. Teachers, they cannot deliver what is happening inside industry. Only in company trainers or teachers exposed to industry can deliver this one. This is the first one. So business and industry must lead, take the leading role for this one. Similarly, apprenticeship, young people, they have to pay respect for the labor and work. Only white collar job does not return back the result. So I already explained that. We have to create good causes for making good results. So this one, and the training providers, yes, there are to be some initiator, some supervisor, some monitor. So this is another one, and an in-company trainer. Another thing is that we cannot hire trainers for our TVET. We have to take advantage of the expert workers in industries, that we have to make them teachers and they have to provide their services for TVET. So this is the in-company trainers. We have already defined our different documents. And similarly, this is the system theory, system model. I don't want to emphasize in one. So we have mainly focused on input and very less focus on process. We are providing teachers to our trainings to our teachers, but we count and we evaluate the training in terms of working days, not in terms of competencies we are providing. So this we have to change in process. This is not only in TVET, this is also in our Nizamati Seva, our civil services also. We only count how many days the employee has taken the training. Not we are focusing that what competency we have transformed them. So this is the change we have to make in process, and we are only emphasizing on how much graduates we are producing, irrespective of the employment and irrespective of the matching between the competency he has acquired in the school and the competency he has to perform in the workplace. So, and not only this one, we have to go beyond output to outcome. What social change, what economical change has been there from our developer endeavors. We have not taken much seriously about this one. And similarly, what we have practiced in apprenticeship training in Nepal. So, I was the first project manager to launch apprenticeship training in Nepal through INSURE. It was Swiss-supported initiative. So in that one, so we generally send 5 days a week to industry and 1 day in institute. And similarly, it goes on like this one. And finally, we bring, at the last 3 months, we invite all the trainees in institutes and provide them supplement knowledge in schools. These are the training modalities. It lasts for totally 24 months. This is 24 months apprenticeship training modality that is happening and that we are providing in CTEVT system. And this model, I don't want to go into detail. And for implementing this model, we have 4 kinds of documents, that institutional arrangement, we can say, apprenticeship program implementation guideline, apprenticeship program monitoring guidelines, apprenticeship selection and evaluation procedure, and apprenticeship learning diary. This, though it looks like new, but it is not new. We have everything practiced in our technical school that has been in working for more than 25 years earlier. So this is what apprenticeship implementation model practiced in CTEVT. And similarly, these two figures, I'm not the authority to design this these figures. This has been developed by Ursula Reynolds. Everyone know about this one. This first one is that all the participants from private sector, they have to know about the first figure. The first figure is that all the private sector, all the industries believe that they are not taking any benefit from apprenticeship training. This is not like that. If you are hiring an unskilled person and you are paying less, you are very much proud that I am paying this couple of thousands of money less than the actual salary to that designated for this worker, and you are only counting the saved couple of monies, and you are not counting the wastage and the time taken to deliver that task. So if you count the time and the wastage that carried out by the worker, so you will always be amazed that you are not in loss, you are in profit. So this first figure says that apprenticeship training always provided benefit to the employers. This very much important aspect has to be properly understood by the industries and the employers. And second figure is in the figure. So it is a very time specific figure, so I don't want to go into the detail. So this one is your occupational sectoral mapping. What we have been doing in CTEVT that, yes, we are preparing NOSS, National Occupational Skill Standard and National Competency Standard. Before going to design those standards, we have to prepare occupational sectoral mapping. So this is one of the example that how we can prepare occupational sectoral mapping. So this is not prepared by CTEVT. CTEVT only facilitates to provide avenue to private sectors to design and develop this model, and this CTEVT will sponsor for this model. So we are not going to design, develop any curriculum and any this sectoral mapping and any SOSS or any NCS independently by CTEVT officials, but we are only providing our avenue, we are only providing facilitation for industry people, expert people to provide this kind of document. I think this is one of the achievements that we have done so far. Similarly, these are the procedures how we define curriculum. At the left side, the number of experts from industries has been there. In the right side, there are how long time it takes to design this curriculum. These are the figures, and the middle side is the procedures to develop curriculum. So I don't want to go into the details. So yes, the summary of the discussion that I have made so far is that these are the practices we are making, and CTEVT is not doing anything by itself. It is simply providing avenue to develop these things, and this is facilitating the experts from the industries. And to move upward and to expedite the process, what we are facing, what are the issues and what are the challenges we are facing. The first one is legal framework for training. The thing is that the people, especially bureaucratic people, I already explained that Vishwakarma and engineer, we never think Vishwakarma as engineer, we think Vishwakarma as one caste or OBC. So this is the legal framework that we have to emphasize that TVET is for the betterment and development of the country. We need not money, we need rice. Money can buy rice, but we cannot eat money. So money is only for exchanging, but we need money. So that we have to make legal framework. Similarly, incentive for trainees. So intense incentives means we are only emphasizing on financial incentive. So we have to provide them some social incentives. So we have to provide them some recognition. We have to ensure them that they are not working class people. Working class people have the equal social status than the elite people. That we have to change. So I am we are going some recruitment procedure, and we are discussing on the academic qualification and the skill testing qualification. We have very hot discussion in CTEVT. So all academic incentives and social incentive we have to talk about, not only the financial incentive, and cost sharing in training. No industry, no MSME can get the skilled worker without paying any cash or kind. They have to pay directly or indirectly. So this is one cost sharing and in training that we have to go for. So we are talking about the skill development law, levy. So in coming act also, we are discussing about the, and another one, informal apprenticeship or formal apprenticeship. Yes, not only formal apprenticeship, we have to go for informal apprenticeship. So all the businesses, enterprises in Nepal are not management-run businesses. They are family-run businesses. We have to at least transform those family-run businesses in management-run businesses. For that, we can assure them recognizing informal and formal apprenticeship training and private sector producers product structures. And I already explained that training provided or sponsored by the government has to make proper arrangement for making training as business. We have to change this concept that the training is for promotion of business and industries. So that mindset we have to change. So these are the issues and challenges we have to face. And now this is for the TVET professionals. What is popularly said that any teacher coming into the class, if he is not expert in delivering, that blame is going to CTEVT. So whatever university teaches, after university and academic institutions providing certificates to the graduates, the competency and incompetency credential goes to university, not to the employers. But we are blamed for that. So what we are planning to that, so before entering into the industry, teaching institute, we have to provide them pedagogical training. Then entering into the teaching services, we have to send them industries to have industrial exposure or industrial attachment. At the same time, professional development training to teachers are also added to that. This is for the teachers and professionals. They are entering into TVET, choosing teaching profession as a major profession. This is one kind of training, teachers development modality that has been practiced, that is planned to be practiced in CTEVT, though TIT has been practicing this for long. Similarly, being teacher and being teachers of teachers is very much different. So I already said that I dare to speak after Dr. Pramod Shrestha. Yes, he is my teacher. So being teacher of teacher is very much difficult. So we have to we have to make special arrangements for the trainers, especially working in TVET. So this is similar to the former modality, but the time line is very much different for this one. I don't want to go into detail. And what we have discussed is that this document has been endorsed by Nepal government, that is National Vocational Qualification Framework. So this National Vocational Qualification Framework has been associated with National Qualification Framework. There is no interest and haste to make National Qualification Framework, so it is not getting proper priority to be implemented in right now. Therefore, but however, this is the endorsed modality to go further TVET, and with clear identification of the career path and the permeability. This is the government endorsed program. So this document has not only been developed by CTEVT, this has been developed with the help of industrial sector. So one thing I missed. So we are very much confused to defining private sector and productive sector. In TVET, we need productive sector beyond private sector. Productive sector means that has direct contribution to production and that has direct production to employment. So this has been developed with the help of productive sector. And similarly, what we need, yes, this is the summary that we have made so far in CTEVT system. So what the way forward to implement this initiative successfully, I have some of the points. So policy program documents. The first one is formulate National Vocational Curriculum Framework and National Vocational Sectoral Curriculum Framework. So we have been providing training in different sectors. The first one, engineering, health, agriculture, hospitality, and other sectors. So we have to make national vocational curriculum framework, and based on that national vocational curriculum framework, we are planning to go for national vocational sectoral curriculum framework. And another one is we have to competitive to the global market. For that, we need national vocational qualification framework that will not only standardize our system, that will also help to benchmarking our system, first to SAARC level, second to ASEAN level, then afterwards to European level. So at least we have to go for that. And similarly, national vocational quality assurance framework. So what are our standards of teachers and teaching learning methodologies? These the third one. And the last one is formulate vocational teachers competency assessment and certification framework. So market is every day changing in two aspects. The first one is social and cultural aspect, another one is technological aspect. To grab the changes in the market, we have to upgrade and update the competency of teachers. So that's why we need vocational teachers competency assessment and curriculum certification framework. And the implementing document is that yes, we have to make guidelines for recognition prior learning with micro-credentialization of the competency that has already acquired. Similarly, capacitated in-company trainers. So I already explained that Nepal cannot hire recruiting fresh teachers. We have to recruit, we have to take support from the industry workers. We have to develop them as teachers that will be cost effective and qualitative for our TVET delivery. That second one is that one. And we have to send our teachers to the industry for industrial attachment and industrial exposure. Similarly, develop TVET quality assessor. Yes, yesterday we discussed with Professor Dhamija. So we have to we have to make a pool of the experts that will go for quality assessment, including accreditation and other quality monitoring parameters. So for that, we have to go for quality assessor. Similarly, implement apprenticeship training. So with the help of productive sector, we have to go for apprenticeship training. These are some of the way forward that I have supposed. With that, I want to conclude. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is supporting everything inside, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.